It all started with what was supposed to be a typical studio session for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta's long-awaited cast album. But what transpired behind those closed doors has the whole reality. TV world in utter collapse mode reports are flowing. Around social media timelines are inundated, and now fans can't stop asking one question. Did Erica Banks actually slap Kirk Frost on camera? Onlookers claim it wasn't simply a slap, it was a full-blown eruption that left Rasheeda in tears, the cast in turmoil, and the entire production staff scurrying to shut the cameras off. What began as creative differences between Kirk and Erica suddenly erupted into a passionate, deeply intimate debate that no one saw coming until Erica snapped, and the sound of that slap rang louder than any verse ever recorded in the studio. And the worst part, Rasheeda, caught in the middle, completely broke down. They say she stormed out, sobbing uncontrollably, yelling that this just destroyed everything now with the record. Apparently on hold, cast alliances, shifting, and footage possibly leaking. People are left wondering if this is the conclusion of the Frost legacy or just the beginning of the biggest scandal in love and hip-hop history. It was a cool Atlanta morning when Erica Banks came up to the studio. The fog clung to her matte black sub like a veil. Kirk Frost's muscle vehicle idled nearby engine, growling softly as he paced beside it. Arms folded and jaw-trapped inside, producers hovered cautiously by craft services, murmuring about the tight schedule and the potential of a blown budget. Carly Red stood off to the side, straightening her hair and looking through her phone, eyes jumping to every new tweet that mentioned Slapgate. Frantic tapped his foot impatiently, earphones dangling about his neck as he listened to playback mixes. Bombi lurked at the rear, pasting on laughter that didn't reach her eyes, attempting to pretend everything was normal. Rasheeda entered the room, last, her hand resting gently on Kirk's arm, providing a cautious smile to the others, even as her pulse hammered with nerves. The instant the group congregated around the central vocal booth, Kirk strode to the mixing console, fingers tapping on the fader, his glare fixated on Erica as she approached, the booth mic in hand and big sunglasses concealing her eyes. Everyone felt the tension build. Rasheeda raised a palm and exhaled, trying to steady the room. "We've got this." She whispered more to herself than anybody else. The beat dropped, a powerful bass line, and crisp snares booming through the monitors. Rasheeda seized the lead voice, and confidence flooding the studio with warmth. Carly came in with a fierce verse, her words slicing through the air, chaotic, followed with a powerful ad-lib, the excitement rising. Then Erica walked forward, sliding into the booth, and closed her eyes. She began her verse, every syllable oozing with swagger and soul, presenting a vivid picture of her ascension and tenacity. Her confidence was irresistible, till it was cut short. Kirk hit the mute button. The music died. Erica froze, headphones dangling around her neck, expression unreadable behind her shades. She tapped the glass and whispered into the talkback speaker. "What's wrong?" Her voice calm yet firm. Kirk leaned back, arms folded. That was too smooth. He said, "I need grit, realness." That felt scripted. His words landed like a punch. Erica's lips pressed together. She waited for him to hit play again, but he didn't. Instead, he grinned. "Try again. Less polish, more passion." Her eyes blazed with defiance. She slipped off her shades and laid them on the console. "You want passion?" she questioned, voice low. "I brought passion." She took a big breath and resumed the track, pouring real emotion into every line. Her difficulties, her successes, her journey from obscure artist to chart contender. The words echoed every beat, a heartbeat. For a second, Kirk's stern expression softened Erica, concluded breast heaving, and waited quiet. Kirk clicked a button that led the track to fade out. "Not there yet," he said crisply. Rasheeda's shoulders sagged. She neared the glass and spoke quietly. "It was good. Let it breathe." Kirk shook his head. "We're not done. This is my vision." The chill in his tone swept through the room. Erica walked out, pulling off her headphones, and placed them on the mic stand with purposeful power. She faced Kirk across the glass. "Your vision. she repeated. This is a cooperation. Not a dictatorship. Kirk turned to her, eyes tightening. I constructed this dream for you, don't forget. That the possessive edge in his voice bit deep. She stepped closer. Built it? More like controlled it. I'm not a treasure to be displayed or handled. Her comments resonated through the studio. Carly Red leaned forward, anxiety pinching her brow. Frenzied stared to the producer, whose face became pale. Rasheeda's palm rushed to her mouth as she watched the confrontation unfold. Kirk rose from his sitting, increasing the distance between them, his voice lowered. You think you're better than me, better than this show? Erica squared her shoulders, chin high. No, I think I deserve respect. I deserve to be heard. She nodded to the mic, and not muted by your ego. The room paused its breath. Kirk stretched out fingers, brushing her shoulder. Maybe to steady her, maybe to impose authority. Erica's eyes widened. She didn't hesitate. Her hand snapped out, connecting with Kirk's face in a thundering slap. The sound broke through the room like a gunshot. Kirk stumbled back, hand flying to his face. His astonished stillness gave way to a roar of vulgarity. Producers and security raced forward, building a barrier. Carly, Red, gasped, hiding her mouth. Crazy mumbled, "Damn!" Behind his breath, Bambi collapsed to the floor, staring in shock. Erica's chest heaved, adrenaline and rebellion surging through her veins. Rasheeda lurched forward, tears pouring in her eyes as she watched Kirk clutch his cheek. She sank to her knees. Alongside him, "Oh my God," she whispered, voice cracking, "He's bleeding." Kirk waved her aside, brow wrinkled. "I'll survive," he grumbled, yet his voice quiver. She grasped his hand, glancing between him and Erica, her eyes filled with agony. Why, she breathed. Erica stood her, ground breathing, hard gaze steady. "Because he crossed the line," she said softly, "and I had to defend myself." Behind the glass, the producers immediately hushed Themix and cut the lights in the booth. The beat that had promised unification died, leaving only the echo of discord outside the booth. Kirk's wounded cheek flashed scarlet beneath the strong lights. He put the towel around it, fury and hurt fighting in his eyes. Rasheeda sat alongside him, heads in her hands. She rocked gently, tears forming streaks down her cheeks. Kurt placed a hand on her back, but didn't soothe her. Instead, he gazed ahead, mind racing as Erica paced beneath the studio's fluorescent lights, makeup somewhat smeared from sweat. She held her phone to her ear. "Yeah, drop that snippet now," she said, voice steady. Admirers were already speculating the sentence Kirk frost-slapped by Erica Banks trended before the dust had settled. She hung up and faced Carly Red, who brought her a glass of water. Erica received it, fingers tense around. "The cold plastic they need to know the truth," she mumbled in the lounge. Rasheeda's tears bounced off the walls. Kirk knelt beside her, voice low. "We'll solve this," he vowed. She looked up, tears blocking her vision. "Fix it way?" she asked, by pretending it didn't happen, by silencing me too. Kirk's jaw constricted, his control previously so firm now slipped through his fingers. Bambi slid in, carrying 2 styrofoam cups of coffee. She hesitated, then placed one in Rasheeda's quivering palm. "You okay?" she inquired softly. Rasha shook her head, voice muffled. "No," she whispered. Bambi caressed her arm. "You will be." Across the room, producers conferred in quiet tones, crafting remarks and arranging damage control outside those walls. Social media was ablaze. Fans took sides with ferocity. Team Erica swamped timelines, declaring sympathy with Erica's stand against disrespect. Kirk rallied, accusing Erica of unprofessionalism and violence. Tabloids' demand for exclusive interviews. Talk show hosts hailed the smack, the incident that altered Let Atlanta Forever back. In the studio, Erica leaned against a wall, arms folded. She caught Rasheeda's gaze through the open door of the lounge. "I'm sorry you had to see that," she murmured quietly. Rasheeda's eyes blazed with conflicted emotion. Betray, compassion, anguish. She gulped hard. "It's not you," she murmured. "It's us." Kirk rose, face set. "Let's get back to work," he murmured. voice brittle silence answered him. And so the album project lay in ruins, split apart by a smack that reverberated far beyond the studio alliances had moved loyalties tested, with the promise of unity shattered. The following chapter will test who could endure the devastation and whether love hip-hop in Atlanta would ever be the same again. The aftermath was electric. Cameras stayed rolling, even as producers urgently tried to regain control. The rhythm that once promised unification now lay silent, replaced by the murmur of anxiety. Ignited, just slapgate, ladled Yatimria Jartim Perk talk show. Parts teased exclusive footage and untold information. The debate had spread beyond the studio boundaries into global conversation. Erica didn't wait for an invitation. She strode toward the sea. Exit mingled still in hand. Carly followed, placing a loving hand on her back. "You want to give a statement?" she asked. Erica shook her head. "Not now, folks will talk no matter what I say." She paused, staring down the corridor at Rasheeda's anxious silhouette. "I need to talk to her alone back in the booth." Kirk turned to the producer. "This project was my vision. Now it's a disaster." The producer choked voice strained. "We can rebuild. We may frame it as a time of passion, raw drama, genuine stakes." Kirk's gaze darted toward the closed lounge door. "We'll see in the lounge." Erica approached Rasheeda. Slowly, the room smelt of stale coffee and lipstick. Rasheeda stared up through red-rimmed eyes. "Why did you do it?" she whispered. Erika perched on the arm of the couch. "Because he disrespected me right in front of you, in front of everyone. You couldn't let that slide, so why should I?" Rasheeda's lip quiver. "He's my spouse. I adore him, but I can't pretend he was right." She placed a palm across Erika's gripping arm. "I'm glad you stood up for yourself." The tension between them shifted, lightened by honesty. For a while, Rasheeda felt a fragile respect grow for Erica's courage. But then reality crashed back, and studio CEOs would demand allegiances, fans would take sides, and Kirk's rage would not abate. Meanwhile, Kirk discovered chaotic in a recording booth down the hall. Crazy was replaying crowd noise and studio conversation over headphones. Kirk leaned against the doorframe, arms crossing. "You think she had to do that?" he inquired. Chaotic hesitated, then shrugged. "I get it." He crossed the line but didn't have to go physical. Kirk gazed at him. "You're closer to my side." Chaotic shook his head. "I'm on the side of respect if she slapped him. It's because she felt surrounded." Kirk's eyes narrowed. "People will perceive it as an unprofessional stunt." Chaotic withdrew his headphones maybe, but they'll also see her strength drama cells in the control room. The producer flipped through camera angles footage, shows Rasheeda's breakdown snippets of Erica's triumphant pose. Slow motion replay of the slap it all lit on the monitors. He touched his headset preparation. Crisis plan depict this as an empowering moment for women rising up against disrespect. Contact out to Erica's representation for a sit-down interview. The helper jotted notes outside the building, a live stream. Host scribbled hurriedly on a notepad. "This is only the beginning," she whispered, eyes moving between her tablet. As the studio doors, fans jammed phones to the glass, hoping to catch a peek of cast reactions. Security, pleasantly but firmly, guided them back, enabling only permitted film to emerge. In the next hour, far from the chaos, Erica published a tweet. "No one deserves disrespect. Togetherness through music signifies respect for all more to come." The post gained tens of thousands of likes. Within minutes, comments rushed in, some applauding her bravery, others denouncing violence. She dismissed the hostility, focused on the camaraderie back inside. Rasheeda prepared to re-enter the studio. She smoothed her clothes, took a deep breath, and straightened her posture. Kirk approached her, placing a hesitant hand on her back. "I'm sorry," he whispered quietly. She breathed, seeing his gaze. "Apology, not enough. You need to understand why she did that." Kirk nodded, voice hurt, eye crossed lines. "I shouldn't have." She nodded once. "Kurt, let's finish this for us, not for your ego." When they rejoined, the group stillness met them. Carly Red offered Rasheeda a little gesture of encouragement. Frantic step forward. "Ready?" he asked. Rasheeda raised her chin. "Let's do it." Erica stayed back, arms folded, gazing. Kirk met her glance through the booth window, eyes remorseful. Nevertheless, challenged Erica offered a curt nod. It was time to choose to work together or the album die. The producer cleared his throat. "Okay, new strategy. Let's record a supplementary track. Unity is respect. Every one of you share your side. Rasheeda, Kirk, Erica." A murmur rippled through the cast. Rasheeda closed her eyes. Voice gentle, Kirk stared. At Erica, mouth set, Erica crossed her arms tighter. The beat started a slower, melancholy melody that highlighted emotion over energy. Rasheeda's vocal came initially, her tone tainted with guilt. She talked of love tested by pride, the anguish of watching, disrespect. Kurt followed. Voice hoarse, acknowledging fault. Vowing growth when it was Erica's turn, she leaned into the mic, expressing truth about boundaries, respect, and standing up. Her words resonated. Honest, unapologetic, hopeful. When they filmed, cameras captured the tension combined with hesitant collaboration in that shared moment. Something moved, if only little, from confrontation toward possibility. The album's concept moved from unity through music to unity through respect. When the session ended, the cast gathered for a group shot. Rasheeda joined arms with Erica, and Kirk, expressions stern but eager shooters, snapped wildly. This image, three cast members united by dispute and collaboration, would become the distinguishing thumbnail for the next promo later. That while Erica saw the clip of the new track's hook, tears glimmered in her eyes as she whispered, "We did it." Rasheeda and Kirk joined her on the couch. Heads lowered for a tiny time, they were a family again. Imperfect, weak, but bonded by music and a lesson learned the hard way beyond the world. Buzzed admirers argued allegiance, tabloids, tease, exclusives, yet inside that modest studio, another story took birth, one where dispute led to dialogue, where a slap echoed into an opportunity for respect. And as the moon rose above Atlanta, the cast understood something fundamental. Sometimes the biggest hits are generated from the darkest experiences. The new track dropped at midnight, and immediately the studio's phones lit up like a Christmas tree dish, called in requests. Bloggers posted early impressions, and fans flocked streaming platforms. Unity means respect topped the charts faster than anyone thought. Erica watched the live viewer count move higher from her couch, heart swelling at every news stream. Rasheeda sat beside, woman clutching a cup of lukewarm tea, tears of relief streaming in her eyes. Kirk lingered at the doorway, arms folded, pride wearing with humility as the trio shared a calm moment of accomplishment. Although celebration was ephemeral by daybreak, the tabloids had turned the narrative into fresh scandal. Headlines screamed that the trio's reconciliation was a PR gimmick, accusing them of exploiting their money for ratings. Talk show hosts argued if the slap had been real or contrived, doubting Erica's intentions and Kirk's honesty. Social media churned with conspiracy theories. Erica browsed through a barrage of comments, some applauding her power, others accusing her of selling out. She closed her eyes, exhaling. "We did what needed to be done," she whispered. Yet uncertainty crept in. Rasheeda woke to a text from her manager. International backlash building, need your statement ASAP. Her phone buzzing with dozens of missed calls, producers, network executives, even family members seeking answers. She felt split between loyalty to Kirk and solidarity with Erica. The stress tightened in her stomach like a knot. She messaged back, "I need time." Then she shut her phone and stood at the window, watching Atlanta's skyline shine in dawn's light. Beneath the beautiful turmoil churned. Carly, Scarlett, and Chaotic met in a neighboring Kath Ta strategy. Carly's sip-chai brow wrinkled as she analyzed. "Statistics. Our involvement. Statistics are off the charts," she said. "But emotion is split 50-50. We need to tip? The scale's crazy." Drummed his fingers, nodding. "We pushed the empowering angle conversations with Erica about standing up for oneself. Rasheeda. As the voice of compassion, Kirk acknowledging his fault. Carly tapped a notepad angle, healing via honesty content, raw interviews. Behind-the-scenes footage she peered at. Frantic, we're directing this back on course, back on site, the cast gathered for. A quick press shoot, cameras clicked as they posed Erica fierce and unyielding, Rasheeda regal. Despite her sadness and Kirk calm with a trace of sadness in his eyes, the photographer yelled out, "Give me true emotion, people." And in that instant, something substantial passed between them, an unsaid pact to withstand the storm together. The flash froze that moment in time, destined to become the season's signature image. Later, Rasheeda discovered Erica alone in the green area. A harsh fluorescent bulb blazed overhead, lighting Erica's sleepy eyes. Rasha closed the door and sat across from her. "I'm sorry. I hesitated," she began. Erica's expression softened. "I know it was hard." Rasheeda reached out, rushing a stray lock of hair off Erica's face. "You did what you had to do." Erica smiled faintly. "And you were there." Rasheeda exhaled. "We're in this together." Meanwhile, Kurt cornered the producer by the console. His voice was low, frantic. "We need damage control on my conclusion and interview where I apologize. No excuses." The producer stroked his temples. "We'll organize it, but understand if you come out too defensive, it'll backfire." Kirk nodded, jaw tight. "I'll be genuine hours." Later, he sat before a camera crew, breathing deeply. The red recording light blinked on. He gazed into the lens and whispered, "I let my ego get in the way. I was wrong. Erica deserved respect, and Rasheeda deserved more than this drama." He halted, swallowing. "I aim to rebuild the confidence of everyone I damaged that same afternoon." Erica stepped into another studio, this one for a daytime chat, program appearance. The host greeted her with a friendly smile. "Erica admirers are calling you a hero and a monster." In the same sentence, Erica laughed, tension flaring in her eyes. "I'm just a woman who stood up for herself in a moment of disrespect." The audience applauded. The host leaned forward. "Do you regret the smack?" Erica's glance was steady. "No, I regret that. It had to come to that. But sometimes respect is non-negotiable." Cameras zeroed in on her face, recording every nuance. Clips of that interview circulated throughout social channels, further fanning controversy in the privacy of her dressing room. Erica glanced at her reflection. The harsh lighting made her feel exposed. She pressed her finger to her cheek where the smack had landed. The sting still remained. She closed her eyes and said, "I did anything for me." Her phone rang with a message from a friend. "You're brave, don't let them tear you down." She tapped a grateful reply. Backstage at a promotional event, Rasheeda prepared to talk at a panel about empowerment. Journalists lined up microphones in front of her. When she took a seat, she cleared her throat. "Today we showed that music can unite, but only when built on mutual respect." Lights erupted. A reporter asked, "How has this controversy damaged your marriage?" Rasheeda gazed down, gathering power. "It tested us, however, if we can develop and grow, so can our fans. Love means standing by each other, even when it hurts outside the venue." Fans congregated around posters depicting Erica and Rasheeda, debating heatedly. Some clutched placards reading, "Respect is power." Others screamed, "Slackgate survivor." Kirk arrived to thank the panelists, hugging Rasheeda briefly. The camera's odd Kirk's arm draped over Rasheeda's shoulder. A public show of solidarity. Erica watched from the side, nodding approvingly. That as the three regrouped at the studio for a late-night session, the silence was heavy, thoughtful. Erica poured a glass of water. Rasheeda leaned back, fingers interlaced while Kirk checked track notes. The producer entered. "Yes, we've had the next single lined up a dit," between Rasheeda and Erica, called "Stronger Together." Enthusiasm flickered. Erica raised an eyebrow. Do it after all this." Kirk provided a modest smile. "It's time to prove it." They entered the booth, tension melting into concentration. Rasheeda's sweet vocals combined with Erica's raw force, creating a harmony that spoke of reconciliation. Kirk adjusted settings, focused closely. The words they sang painted their journey: betrayal, conflict, forgiveness, and growing. As the final song faded, A quiet fell. Then Kirk remarked softly, "That was true." Rasha and Erica exchanged glances, a mutual acknowledgement passing between them weeks later. As the single climbed the maps, the trio pondered on their adventure. Erica sat on the studio's rooftop terrace. Atlanta cityscape stretching behind her, Rasheeda joined, bringing her a cup of tea. Kirk followed, putting an arm around Rasheeda's waist. Together they watched the city lights shimmer. Erica sipped. "We turned mess into message," she said. Rasheeda nodded, and music into meaning. Kirk pressed them closer, and now we're stronger. But while they celebrated, a new notification pinged on Kirk's phone, an anonymous tip hinting at a secret contract condition that threatened to rip the record deal from under them. His brow furrowed. Erica noticed. "What is it?" she asked. He hesitated. "Something regarding ownership."